Celebrate, and I'm Amber.
And I'm Tom.
And we just wanted to add some prelude music to, Matt's lovely voice this morning.
Yes,
he
we just
needs
kind of
some-
jumped the gun there a little
Yeah, we're always jumping the gun.
bit. It's not that we don't appreciate Matt's
We do
wonderful
appreciate
voice.
Matt's wonderful voice, and it just needs a little bit of music all the time.
Yep.
Well, it is officially the week before the final week of February. So
Yeah, February 18. Can you believe it?
yeah, it's gone fast. February always goes pretty fast for
Yep.
us, you know.
Year just kind of gets away from us.
Yeah. So Tom, what word of the day are we celebrating?
Well, it's a great word. It's from the Portuguese, based on some Portuguese words. Nephelibita,
Oh, okay.
from the Portuguese word nephele, which
Uh-huh.
means cloud. So literally, Nephelibita means cloud walker.
Oh, wow.
Which is one who lives in the clouds in their own imagination or dreams, or one who does not obey the conventions of society, literature, or art.
Yeah.
So someone that's just kind of out there doing their own thing.
Is that you editing my work?
Well, sometimes, Amber,
I
you are a little out there. And I just kind of have to
say
pull you
my
down.
creativity in writing is like baboons in a room with finger paint, just throwing it around. And Tom's my cleanup man. So yeah, it was exciting today, cloud wise. I thought it was raining dipping dots for a while there. It wouldn't it be cool if it was really raining dipping dots? Little pellets of beautiful white snow. I guess they're white. Is that drizzle when it looks like dipping dots?
Yeah, it was kind of snow, but not something
quite,
that's going to
not quite.
cling or hang around for very long.
Yeah. Well, you have a natural solution for us.
Well, sure. We're going to talk about nitric oxide boost. It's an overall heart healthy supplement. Relaxes blood vessels, improves circulation, controls cholesterol and blood sugar levels. And you can get your nitric oxide boost at www.naturalsolutionstore.bz.
That's awesome. I'm going to say over. You sound like a pirate.
Overall.
Over.
There's something about that string of words right there. I always have trouble with that.
You're going to have to say that every time we do that.
I think I should just have Matt record that one and just do a voiceover. Would that work?
Yeah,
So
that works for me.
Over.
Kind of reminds me of that one commercial with the actor that needs a Liberty Bibberty.
So the month of February, what are we celebrating?
Oh, my word. So much going on this month. This month we're celebrating American Heart Month, Black History Month. Lots of great stories there.
Yes.
Celebration of Chocolate Month.
Oh, of course.
And boy, there's so many. National Sweet Potato Month.
Wow.
For those of you who are sweet potato fans, good healthy alternative to regular potatoes.
Mm-hmm.
And National Hot Breakfast Month.
Wow.
And today, February 18, drum roll, it's National Battery Day. Whoever would have thought? And National
change our batteries.
Thumb Appreciation Day.
Thumb Appreciation Day.
The
All right.
opposable thumb that sets us apart from so many other mammals.
So
Yes.
appreciate your thumb today. You never know when you might lose it.
And February 18 is an important month in history.
Uh-huh.
On this date, in 1735, the first opera was performed in America,
Yes.
Flora. Now, okay, take a guess. Where do you think the first opera would have been performed in the United States of? Well, this is before it was the United States of America.
Before,
The
yeah.
Grand Ole Opry.
Yeah,
It
right,
was-
Grand Ole Opry.
I just realized that Opry is just like our southern way of saying opera.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Grand
You're singing
Ole
that
Opera.
Opry.
It's
I
not.
see.
It's
Yeah,
not a whole
yeah.
new language.
Yeah, that's
But
crazy.
you know what? It was in the South.
Wow.
So the first opera was performed in 1735 in Charleston, South Carolina.
Oh wow.
I would have thought New York,
New York,
Philadelphia,
yes, definitely.
one of those great
Boston.
centers. And on this date, 150 years later, in 1885, Mark Twain published Adventures of Huckleberry Finn here in the U.S.
Yes.
And on this date in 1977, and boy, I remember this one. You know, I really don't remember the other dates, the earlier dates. But in 1977, the Space Shuttle Enterprise took off on its maiden flight.
Wow.
Now it was not self-propelled. It was not even on a rocket. It was mounted on a Boeing 747 shuttle carrier aircraft. Remember the first time it took to the air?
Yeah.
It was on the back of a Boeing 747.
My dad had that model, model airplane with the Boeing and the space shuttle. He bought that commemorative. So he never put it together, but we had that, the Boeing.
Boy, if it's still in the box, that could be worth a fortune right now.
And the shuttle carrier aircraft. Wow.
Yeah, so on the back of a 747 is how it first took to the air.
Yeah. I wonder if they had passengers on that plane.
I don't know.
But that would have been kind of fun.
Wouldn't that have been? Then what do you do?
Hold
It started
tight.
slipping off. Woo! Yeah. And we have birthdays today. Some weeks we just don't have a whole lot of birthdays on our Tuesday day. So it's happy birthday shout out to John Travolta, who turns 66 today. Matt Dillon turns 56. Molly Ringwald turns 52. And the ever lovely Vanna White is 63.
She does not age.
No.
Vanna does not age.
How do they do that?
I know.
And someone who does, Yoko Ono, is 87 today.
Oh, that is awesome.
Did I say that out loud?
Hey, when you're 87, I think you're entitled to your wrinkles. But
But it was just funny to have both of those, Vanna White and Yoko Ono together.
And trade places. I'd love to see Yoko Ono on Wheel of Fortune, walking around in those
Maybe
high heels.
celebrity, yeah.
Yeah, that would be really cool. Well, now for my Say Grace segment, exciting. We have, I don't know how many of you have heard, there is a new Taiwanese shaved ice place here in town. It's actually right over here, right across from Red Lobster, and they do such an amazing. We had. I'm gonna have to bring some into the show. I don't think I have ever quite experienced anything like this, because you can get Taiwanese tea, Taiwanese shaved snow tea, and Yobi. Oh, I'm gonna put this on there. We'll put it over here to start. It's really a cool place. I love to bring some. It tastes just like ice cream met snow. So you get these huge snow mountains. I took some pictures of it over the weekend when I took my daughters to it over the weekend, with fruit and boba, and it looks just like a mountain actually. So check it out if you want a cultural experience of ice cream that's not quite ice cream. Sweet and snow over here on Glenstone across from Red Lobster. Check it out. It's a great experience.
Sweet and snow.
Sweet and snow. Well, for my Say Grace food tasting segment, I have something that is not quite like what we've had before, and it's how to make a proper cup of tea. Now, how to make a proper in honor of my papa, in honor of my husband's father, who passed away last week, who actually taught me how to make a proper cup of tea. I have a lovely teapot. I have my tea kettle back here that's boiling, hot boiled water. And one of the things people might know, do you have a tea kettle at home, electric tea kettle?
I've had one.
Yeah, they're very good. I love having electric tea kettles. So I love these being cordless. So we get this. It's still perking right up there. So fresh water, no tap water, and so this is the teapot, the tea kettle, the teapot, of course, clean, freshly boiled water to warm it up. A lot of people don't warm up their teapot. I'm not going to warm it up today unless I can put hot water on one of these plates. So do you warm up your teapot? Is that typical what you guys do when you have, or do you have tea in a pot?
Well, my wife just goes straight to the cup.
Straight to the cup.
From the tea kettle to the cup.
So we're doing it a little bit more.
So we don't do it properly.
We're just doing it a little bit more posh than that.
You're doing it correctly.
Yeah. So we have the tea saucers, the saucers that are, and this is from my friend Penelope Carlovato. Thank you, Penelope. These are actually made in England, Royal Howard fine bone china, and the tea saucer has a little indentation in it for the tea cup. So that's how you know your tea cup, your tea saucer goes right in there. And this is the tea plate, matching lovely tea plate. Normally I would have a tea spoon, and Papa would be face palming himself in heaven right now if he saw that I did not have a teaspoon. So I'm going to get these ready for the guys for their first tea party. You can have a tea party too.
For the first proper cup of tea.
Proper cup of tea. Are you guys all up for a proper cup of tea?
I am.
You are?
There is an art.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Okay. And I have...
Are there crumpets?
Are we joining you on set?
Yes.
What are crumpets?
Crumpets are... Actually, can you grab me that tea over there? Crumpets are actually like, yes. Actually like English muffins. It's the equivalent of what we call English muffins.
I love muffins.
You do love muffins.
Yes.
And they're not quite what they think. You know, they don't have muffin in Britain. They have, crumpets.
Like a sourdough muffin with all the big
no.
air holes? They don't have that?
Okay,
Curious.
so I'm going to be very horribly un-British. Sorry, Papa.
Horribly un-British, you say?
Yeah, horribly un-British. Okay, so these are the...
Well, you got to ease us into it. Mix it with a little American.
These are the PG tips, and the reason that these are so lovely...
What did you call those?
This is the brand PG tips. This is a traditional British tea, black tea. But the thing about this that makes it special is it's a pyramid-shaped tea bag. Right
Very
here.
cute.
And it actually makes the tea move around in the bag, unlike a flat tea bag. So it's more like you get when you pour tea through like a strainer, because the tea flows.
I'm also bogarting your tea deal today.
Yeah.
This is a black tea from England, but it's drank primarily in the Middle East. It's called Sadef tea. It's got Earl Grey and cardamom and a bunch of other stuff. Have a whiff of that.
That's amazing.
Wow.
You know, heck, you smell that.
Well, yes, that is very good. Smells very good.
And there's another one called Ahmad tea, which is really good too.
I want to smell this one.
Okay,
Yeah.
so here's the, you can take a big sniff of that.
Now, do you want the water boiling?
The water has to be rapid boiling and hot. You do not pour tea from a tepid, like a pot that has just kind of been setting for 10 minutes. You have to have fresh boiled water. That is the tea standard.
What are these dishes? Beautiful.
Okay, these are tea plates, tea saucers. So this is just for the cups. You don't put your, you don't
tea
put
bag on it.
Your crumpets.
You don't put your crumpets on it. So,
No.
You do put your tea bag on the side.
I do, but this is a dessert plate. So the one without the curl, the circle in the middle.
The indentation.
So I'm going to give you guys that.
I get
normally with a teapot, you would put boiling water. Your first thing would be to warm up the teapot. You boil the water. You pour a little bit of the water in, and you swish it around until the surface of the teapot is warm, because you don't want the water going into your teapot and cooling down the tea. It's about hot as it can when it brews. Okay, so normally you put, how I like it is one for each person around the table and one for the pot. So normally, like, this would be like 5 tea bags, okay? I have 5, okay. So 1 for each person around the table, 1 for the pot, 2 to get ready.
Now, is that actually boiling?
Yeah, it is boiling.
And 3 to go.
3 to go. Okay, so I'm going to do this. Okay.
Steamy.
It is steamy.
Look at that.
Now, black tea has quite a bit of caffeine in it as well.
It does. And,
Now, is a teapot only if it's a certain size and holds a certain amount of water?
No, there can be teapots. I mean, there's 2 types of teapots. Sometimes there's, there's actually...
A kettle is what you actually heat up, right?
Yeah. Actually, there's more than 2 types of teapots, and I would have to get Penelope back on the show to talk about the types of teapots. But there's novelty teapots that are like, I have a few that are like TARDIS shaped.
And you cover it up.
And this is
to keep the heat from escaping.
This is a tea cozy, and it actually helps. You kind of put it on there. It's like a hat for your teapot, and you let it brew.
What does it say? There is.
She said my teapot is terrible.
Hope.
There is hope where there is tea.
Really?
She said my teapot over there was terrible.
Yeah, your teapot was very horrible. It was a coffee pot.
It's got
let's not talk about that.
It's got a cozy that wraps around it too, and it's got the little screen thing that you put the tea in.
I think she
for
said
the
let's not
leaves.
talk about
It's
that.
so you can use the actual loose leaves and not the bags.
Yes. So.
So that's a negative on that. Don't
don't do that.
Don't do that.
Don't do that. And
I'm gonna.
You're not supposed to brew. You're not supposed to brew tea in anything made for coffee.
Oh no, that's specifically for tea.
It is?
Yes.
Oh, that's weird.
That is a teapot.
Wow.
Yeah, you pour the hot water into it, and it's got the screen and that screen is not for coffee. It's for tea, specifically for tea.
I might have to have like my mother-in-law send them some religious papers about tea.
Do I need to cross myself?
We're guys. We want a plunger and a weight to crush all the juice out of it.
Yeah, you don't ever want to squeeze the tea bags.
Slosh that thing around.
Squeeze the tea bags. Don't squeeze the tea bags. Please.
And if you haven't learned
Be
anything from us
kind.
today,
Don't squeeze your tea bags.
don't squeeze the tea bags.
Don't squeeze your tea bags, okay? So I'm gonna.
We'll be with y'all here in just a second.
I'm going to speed the process up and open up the teapot. But first, I'm going to give you some sacrilegious scones.
Sacrilegious scones.
They're in a sack, and they're a bit sacrilegious. Here, let me give you your tea plate. So this is sacrilegious scones means this is really not the proper, but even though it looks like the Trinity, it is a false doctrine of scones.
The false.
And do I pass this on?
You
or-
really worked hard on this bit, didn't you?
No, I make it up as I go along. Okay.
I see
Well,
your point.
brilliant.
I see all 3 of them.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. This is there is no in Britain. There is no Trinity scone. That is a American thing.
They're usually
Probably
round, so it's like a
because-
biscuit.
Probably because they use it like that because it maximizes the dough in the pan and they don't have to take the time.
Now, do we
And do
put?
you behave like this when you're in Britain?
Like
You are right now?
fireball?
Yes, with the
Oh,
3-pointed scones and all that, and
No,
tell them.
I would not eat that in Britain because I would be laughed at.
Now, do we put gravy on this too, or no?
No, these
Sausage gravy?
No, they wouldn't come with the icing on it either. So let me just qualify.
Oh,
how many sacrilegious things? Can
the
I
very
find out
definition
about
of the ugly American.
Okay,
Yes.
so yeah.
I say they need
try-
America.
This right here is like this would be in the dictionary for ugly American.
You know, I should be talking in a posh accent.
A posh
you know,
one.
A posh one. Okay, so.
Do you speak in a posh accent?
I do speak in a posh accent, and sometimes I speak fancy, nice cup of tea, love.
Cup of tea.
Okay, so the proper cup of tea should be the color of He-Man. And do you know what the color of He-Man looks like?
I don't.
Do you remember He-Man? Who remembers He-Man?
I do.
Masters of the
I do.
Universe?
Masters of the Universe.
I don't remember
Okay.
his.
By the
So-
power of
Shade.
Grayskull.
Okay. If you would be taking sugar with your tea, you'd be putting that in the cup first.
Okay.
Okay. And a cube, I like cubes when I'm being really posh, but look at how lovely that tea is.
That is beautiful. You are right.
Okay. And
Lovely.
I need it. No, not yet. And I'm going to make you the proper ways with milk and whole milk, not creamer, my loves.
Not heavy cream?
Not heavy cream. Do not put heavy cream in your tea. Papa gets angry when you put cream in your tea. So here is the color of He-Man by the power of Grayskull.
And am I passing this on?
Not a sponsor. Masters of the Universe is not a sponsor.
You can pop it. You can pass it to Matt if you want to. Matt, can you genteelly take the cup of tea?
Oh, genteel.
Actually, Tom, you can have a cup of tea, can't you?
Yes, I can.
You can have a cup of sugarless tea.
Now these dishes are ancient.
These are ancient dishes, right?
These aren't ancient
Roman?
dishes.
Are they Aztec?
No,
Sorry, we'll stop bugging you now.
This is, but it is bone china, which my papa, Philip's dad, says you can't really taste the tea unless you drink it out of a bone china cup because the porcelain is too thick. You can't get a good taste of the tea. So just know that if you're drinking tea out of a fat, thick porcelain cup, you're really not tasting it. Tom, pass you the tea. Tom's actually had tea with me. Yes, you have.
In your home.
He's come to my house with the tea for tea. You guys should come. Oh gosh, I just did the cardinal sin.
Oh, on mine too.
Oh, I'm going to take this one because this is not proper.
What did you
Do you want me
do?
to take it? I will take it.
She put the milk in first.
Oh my goodness.
Because I'm
Horror
brave.
of horrors.
I'm brave like that.
You're brave like that? Okay,
Yes.
there you go. It is the color of He-Man, so.
It is beautiful.
That actually doesn't. Well, I guess it does kind of look like the color of He-Man now that I think about it.
Okay, so.
That's a Hasbro toy, I believe. By the way,
Yes.
And they too are not sponsors.
they
Make
too are
sure
not
not
sponsors,
sponsors.
but they
Okay.
are a sponsor of my childhood enjoyment when I
Yes.
was a kid.
Okay, so if we were really proper, and I had my little teaspoons with me, which are little
Now, do we-
teaspoons. Yeah, you can. Well, this was a I don't want to burn my fingers kind of move.
Okay.
So if you want.
So you don't want to stir it with a paddle?
No, don't stir it with a paddle. Don't stir it with a big fat.
What about a
tablespoon.
spork?
Like pour
Will
it
a
back
spork
and forth
work?
or a shaker?
Yeah,
Take your butter knife and
Yeah.
and you sip it. Kind of taste.
That is beautiful even before you sip it.
Yeah.
When you're breathing
tastes
in,
great.
the steam is lovely.
Good hot
Good
tea.
stuff, yes.
Good hot tea. Good.
Very enjoyable.
And then you dunk this, right? You dunk it in there?
No, don't dunk it.
What?
Do we dump it on the plate?
Do you
But
you
some
pour
of
the tea in the
them,
plate?
Some of them with a biscuit, like they like steam their biscuit at the side. Like now this is not a biscuit. This is a scone. Biscuits are like.
Do they have
cookies.
scones there?
At,
We talked about this already,
yeah,
right?
they have scones in Britain, but they don't look like this. And so this is not a scone.
I'm pretty sure they're round in
This is
Britain.
an abomination. Okay, so a lot of times when people are eating like the biscuits, they hang them off the side or they dip them,
With
But
Hardtack will
not
work in a pinch, right?
Yeah. A bit of unleavened bread or raw.
Oh yeah, get some pita.
yeah, hardtack and beef jerky, right?
Mmm. Yeah.
So,
With a proper cup of tea.
Now do you have to
in the West.
swallow before you?
yeah, and you're not supposed to, you're supposed to sit up straight.
Are you guys paying attention over there?
You're
Okay.
learning.
It's a lovely
And
cup
you
of
This
tea.
will be on the test. Just
Or
let you know.
you can properly, you can lift and drink.
Now,
I eat the biscuit
now I
because
heard
it's
people-
polite.
People would pour it on the saucer and sip it out of the saucer.
No, that's not.
Where's that from? Where did I hear?
That's from, I don't know.
That's
hell?
probably from like it's probably from like old Georgia.
Probably Lapland.
It's probably like from 1800s Georgia.
Is that from Arkansas?
South Carolina, where the opera started.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, where the Grand Ole
They're kind
Opry
of
is.
posh in
Breaking
South-
ground.
they're kind of posh in the South.
Yes.
You know,
South
they are.
Carolina.
Yeah, they're kind of posh. They sit and they take their tea.
Oh, we got to
Elegant.
get the pinky out there. There's a
I'm
pinky
sorry, I don't want to
requirement.
break my pinky.
You don't want to burn your finger. There we go.
No, this is absolutely a delicious cup of tea.
It
You
is a
have
good
And there's
tea.
no
taught us a
sugar in
good
it.
thing.
No, there is no sugar. In
I
the
mean,
tea.
mine. It's even though you poured the milk first.
Yeah.
which does make it a little horrible.
Because he has so much experience drinking
It passes.
the proper cup of tea.
Yeah.
I think about 15 more tea bags would do. In the
Yeah.
See, I don't have any daughters, so I didn't have tea time. I didn't learn proper etiquette.
Okay. But you can,
But now I got British
that's
friends.
why they lost the war.
Yeah, because of the tea.
Because tea has less caffeine than coffee.
Yeah.
America was drinking coffee, and the Britons were drinking tea.
Yeah.
That's what it's all
So
about.
we beat them.
They took their time, and I think
Right.
that's the thing. People stopped for tea. You don't just like grab a cup of tea. And
Now, tea is like lunch, right?
No, tea like the tea of the tea meal.
Yes.
Or the tea meal. It's about 3 o'clock.
Okay.
Okay, so it's
like before dinner.
It's like a snack, So there's high tea, which is all the desserts and lovely, and it's usually up on a high table, and that's
that what this is?
high tea. No, this is just tea.
This is celebration tea.
This is amazing.
This is just tea, but regular tea time could be like this.
And don't slurp it,
not
right?
Not high tea. This would be like tea at 3 o'clock.
Like after work.
A snack, a cucumber sandwich, which I should make cucumber sandwiches for you guys.
No, you don't
I would eat
slurp it, right? That's bad etiquette to slurp it.
No, you just want to, and you want to not slunch. Not slunch.
So you don't want to take a
No,
bite of
slunch
biscuit
works.
and then a sip of tea and mush it all mashed together in your mouth and
And the
Like you're using
tea was designed
mouthwash.
to drink slowly, and that's why we have it by the pot. So and actually this is wrong too. Sorry, Papa. You keep it covered to maximize.
because once
the
it gets cold, it's
hotness.
not delicious.
The hotness, no. But do you recognize how hot that is?
That
as
is,
a
it's
point
wonderful.
to a
But not like
normal
3rd-degree
dipping.
burns hot.
Yeah, it's very.
And would posh tea be a different kind, like a different leaf?
If you put Lipton tea, that is horrible. Those orange pico teas you don't do.
We're not okay. So Lipton, don't sue us.
Proper black British tea would be like the PG Tips. There's Tetley tea. There's also the English breakfast tea is a black tea.
What about
but
morning?
There's many teas.
What about to wake you up in the morning?
What about second breakfast?
Second breakfast.
There's a tea for every country. There's Yorkshire tea.
Like this is a black tea, but
That is a
it's
black
Middle
tea.
Eastern. Sadef.
It's kind of like there's as many teas as there are coffees.
But there's only one T in the alphabet.
There's only one tea in the alphabet.
In the American alphabet. I
Yeah.
don't know about in Britain. There's only one
Yeah.
T, right?
Yeah. That's
No, there's a
true.
bunch of teas.
Sorry, we're being ornery
So
today.
this is PG Tips, and it requires parental guidance, preferably a Brit, to prepare it correctly. Get some tea. You can
You
actually.
would do well to do it this way. This is
Or just
fantastic.
play the YouTube video.
Yeah,
here.
you know,
Figure out how to do it right.
So I believe you can get PG Tips even at Walmart now. This is an imported box.
You can
It's a little
you
bit
can order it
pricey.
online.
And you can order it online. But there's other teas. And also at London Calling, they have some teas.
And how much would a box like that cost?
$750.
Right,
me
5 tea
see.
bags, 5.
This is probably
We'll stick to 5.
in sterling. It would probably be about £3.50. So that's probably about $5.
That's not
But up in with the exchange rate,
You never know.
$10 with the import tax. No, I'm pretty sure you can get it. But try some British tea. It's really
Where
good.
would you find things like the teapot and the cozy?
You can find teapots online. Good, and you want to find the bone china teapots.
There's a little hole in the lid. Do you
Yeah,
does that
that's-
have to be there?
Yeah, that is for the steam. That
Okay.
is the lovely steam.
Oh, it's in the very, very little tippy top of
The
the.
reason they have this little teapot hole in here is when you tip it, it lets enough pressure out that all the tea doesn't come out the front here.
That way it
So,
doesn't chug.
Yeah, you don't want to have hot tea pour on you.
No.
That would be not.
That would put a real damper on the day.
Yeah, that would be.
Well,
it makes you want to sit up straighter.
Yeah, it does. It does. So, as I said,
delicious.
Enjoy.
I drank mine too fast, I think.
And if you want to have some even recipes, also, I think Penelope has a how to make a proper cup of tea in her book, The Tea Lover's Journal. Penelope
and spaces
Carlavato,
for your own.
And spaces for your journal, and it has some lovely quotes about tea. Somebody amazing did this cover.
That would be you.
Little self-promotion there.
Yep.
And this has like types of tea and making tea and the recipes of the proper British teas, sandwiches and scones and all that. So,
I like how you say scones.
Tea Lover's Journal. Actually, Penelope gave me this tea set. It's beautiful. Thank you, Penelope, for your contribution to American etiquette and this show. We've been educating people here.
Now, what do we do with the dishes?
Just
before we get up,
just leave them there.
We have
you guys don't mind tea cups in your
I guess Tom is the tidier. Tom is the tidy tea
Scooch
person.
things over here, and we
do not play frisbee with the dishes.
Oh, please. No.
That was
Thank you for the
wonderful.
cup of
Thank
tea.
you so much.
You're welcome.
Yes, thank you guys.
Do not put fine bone china in your dishwasher. Let's just quantify
really?
that statement. No, you do not. You also
SOS.
Yeah.
You
do not put soap in a teapot. Let's just yeah, you clean it with vinegar, and you guys want to come to the tea party, you guys feel free to drop on in here.
Okay, yeah, they're getting instructions from Matt.
Yeah.
About how to saunter up here.
Did Dorcas school you in the proper art of tea, Tom?
Well, she kind of does her own thing with tea, but her grandma was second generation English, and her grandfather came over directly, migrated to the U.S. from England. So Samuel Wires, back in Northeast Ohio.
That's awesome. Well, we have some familiar people around the table. Well,
yes,
John
Wilson, and guys, you're just going to have to kind of get up close to the microphone there, but introduce our other guests here, John.
Yeah, well, I have brought with me one of my board members, Chad Bay. So he's been a board member with us for going on his second year. And I said, hey, you're not doing anything. Let's go downstairs and talk on the radio for a little bit.
Yes, and John, just to let our audience know, John Wilson is the director, I believe would be the right term, of the Light the Way ministry.
That's probably the nicest term.
Yes. And we had a...
You guys are upstairs?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so they're up on the 4th floor here in Plaza Towers.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I had the privilege of working with John and Chad, right? Chad last year with Light the Way when it came to Rogersville. We had a great time. Was able to help take care of the artists and make sure they were all refreshed and ready to go out and give a great concert. But John, that was not your first rodeo. That was, I believe, the third in a line of Light the Way concerts, and we have another one coming up in July this year.
Yeah, we last year we did 3 festivals and we did 2 indoor concerts. So we did a total of 7, 8 shows, something like that. We do so many, I just can't keep track of them all. But as far as festival-wise goes, we did 3 of them. But the one last year, which you were gracious enough to help in the hospitality, which our bands and artists are still talking about.
Wow.
That was our biggest one, which we're doing it again. We're July 17th and 18th in Rogersville, same location, bigger stage, bigger bands, and we've got a few more other surprises in tail as well.
So who have we got lined up so far? And
yeah, absolutely. So we've announced most of our lineup through the whole month. So we'll just start with our headliners and just kind of go backwards. So we've got Matthew West that will be there. We've got, we've got Big Daddy Weave that will be our second head. Yeah, there are so many songs that people don't even realize that they have out. That it's just until they hear it, they're like, oh, that's Big Daddy Weave, So, so we're excited about those two. Those are going to be both of our headliners. Matthew's on Friday, Big Daddy's on Saturday, and then we've got Sidewalk Prophets, which is a huge favorite as well. Jordan Feliz, we just added him a couple weeks ago. We've got Rhett Walker, who's got that single that's flying off the charts right now, and then Cochran and Company. We just added, and you're the first to hear it. We haven't even announced it on social media yet.
Wow.
But we are bringing Charity Gale, who is very anointed. She's going to be a part of it as well with us, and then a few other bands that we're still trying to nailing down and crossing the T's and dotting the I's.
So, brother, you're just right upstairs, 2 floors from us. So anytime you have a new announcement to make, we can make time.
Come on down.
Absolutely.
Even was just slipping in for a minute or two just to let folks know what's going on.
Yeah, absolutely. It's every day. It's almost something new. So I hope that's okay.
No, that's all right. The funny thing is it's interesting to see. I mean, I've met a lot of these artists when they were just starting out. I mean,
just getting started.
When I met KJ52, he literally gave me a printout paper of his photo and wrote on it with ink pen, and it's amazing to see like Matthew West. Matthew's a great guy, and he has such an incredible anointed ministry. I remember hanging out in his songwriting cabin with him, and when he was doing the album where he was taking people's stories and writing songs based on their stories, and I was like, there's such an incredible ministry that came out of that, because not only was he writing songs from that, he was actually changing people's lives. He was helping, seeing he can connect people to restoration, even in their stories. So there was some incredible. I love these artists.
We had the opportunity a few months ago to go to Nashville. We're members of CFA, which stands for Christian Festival Association, and we are new members. You have to be in the festival scene for a certain amount of years to get in, and they accepted us this year as a new member. And when we were down there, Matthew showcased for us.
Oh, wow.
And we had already put our offer in because we were wanting him prior to that showcase, but it just kind of kicked it off for us. Like, it was just such an amazing showcase. But meeting him afterwards, he was actually one of the artists that came to me and said, yeah, I seen your Light the Way offer, and we heard about your hospitality team. And he goes, it was a no-brainer for me. So
wow, Tom.
Well, that's what we wanted.
Right.
We wanted to be able to have the artists. So boy, we had Carrie Job last year.
Last year. Torn was the favorite.
Because we know these people talk to each other. And what we wanted the word
it's a small
to be,
community.
What we wanted the word to be was, hey, if you get an offer from these guys, they will take good care of you. And John, you and your team and your board of directors, treat them like kings. And this is just me, kind of pulling the curtain behind and looking behind the curtain a little bit. We look sometimes at these people that do these concerts all over the world, all over the United States, and with a little bit of a awe. Wow, that just be great, traveling all over the world.
Yeah.
Well, some of these folks are traveling with their families in tow, so, or they're leaving their families at home.
Yeah.
Being on the road is not an easy life. So for this period of time, when someone like a Jason Crabb or Matthew West is doing a lot of concerts, we have to understand in our hearts that these people are sacrificially doing something for the kingdom of God that is costing them. It's costing them for their, not only them, but it's costing their family for them to be doing this. So
and for them to come into an environment that you've kind of set. You knew my heart, you knew what we wanted done, and I put you in charge of that, and you killed it, absolutely just killed it. But for them to get off of a bus that they're in 24 hours a day almost, and not being offered pizza at every stop because it's cheaper for us as promoters to offer that for them. But when you get offered that every single day,
yikes.
Yeah.
You know, we were able to offer them home cooked meals with partnerships through churches throughout the area, and that's something that they take to heart because they don't get that often. And our whole team tips our hat off to you guys and for what you guys did for us. We didn't have to worry about it. And we're still hearing about it.
Well, how can churches get involved, like doing like the catering and stuff for the people who come in for Light the Way?
Right. The best way is to just reach out to us through our website.
Okay.
Our contact information's on there. We haven't accepted our volunteers applications yet. You got to sign up to be a volunteer. We're still working out all the new logistics that we're having to do in this 2020 year. But if you're wanting to be a partner in or a sponsor in the church capacity way, where I'm thinking, well, I'm a church, I cook for my church all the time.
Yeah.
Maybe I can step up, and we recognize that. We mention your church in our social medias on our stage, and as a thank you that because you don't see it. Because you're in a building behind the stage, so to speak, and so we make sure that we show credit where credit's due.
Exactly.
And the folks that might be supplying a meal, that would be doing the cooking, like in their kitchen, back in their church. The facility isn't prepared to prepare meals, but we will do everything we can to keep them nice and warm. We take good care of that. But all that they need to do is get it done, get it to us. There are people that will receive it, and then all that they would need to do would be to prepare the meals, and then we'll take care of keeping it hot and ready for the roadies, for the family, for the artists.
So, John, tell us, how many people does it take to put an event like this together?
Well, last year, I think we were just shy of, what would you say, about 300?
I think it was 300.
300 volunteers, I think. Maybe a little over if you count the full-time people, but we could have used a lot more.
Wow. Okay.
I mean, to be honest, because we want to be able to give everyone a fair break and also enjoy the festival, not just to come and serve and then get tired and not actually enjoy anything. So our goal this year is we would like to shoot for about 400 volunteers.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It's a lot.
Yeah, it is.
And that's everything from parking to security to clean up, making sure that everything is looking really nice.
The only thing a volunteer would not have to do is worry about the porta potties.
Oh, wow. That's good.
So
that is not.
We don't want to mess with that.
No.
Yeah, we won't be cleaning the latrine.
It's bad enough cleaning my daughter's bathroom.
So, right.
Well, John, there's a little bit of a change this year.
Yeah.
Some changes are coming up for the event. It's going to be the same location,
right,
but there's some logistical changes, right?
You know, there are, and with changes, you know, when as you grow comes changes.
Yes.
And you know, last year the festival, actually since the birth of the festival has always been free. And it's been great. It's been like that for 3 years now. So people actually got to taste what we provide and what we put out there. Because of things are getting so expensive, artists included, you know, they're bringing in more equipment, which costs them. They're bringing in more members or workers, and it costs them, and they feed that onto us. You know, with all that being said, we through a lot of prayer and discernment, trying to figure out what is the best thing that we can do to where it's not going to hurt us. Because I'll be honest, last year we didn't make it. We still have 2019 books open. We didn't get the full amount that we needed. We're lacking about 16,000, so we're trying to get that settled off. So what we decided this year is we decided to do a $10 ticket.
Yeah.
That's a per person per day, 7 and under are free, or $15 for the weekend.
Wow.
I mean, you can't. That's almost free.
Yeah.
I mean, we found out that people will take more of a value into something that you got to purchase versus, oh, it's a free ticket. I'll go if I can. If I don't, I'm not out anything.
Yes.
And they're selling. They're online right now. You can buy them. You know, we've had several sold. People are receiving it as a positive thing, I would say. So that's one of the major changes. If you're a church group and you're listening and you're like, well, my youth group, I've got 30, 40 kids, that's a lot of money. We are just now releasing that if you do a group allotment of 30 or more, whether it's the per day or a weekend, it's only $5 each.
Wow, that's great. That's fantastic.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Well, the reality is a lot of bigger concerts have raised their prices.
Right.
So
I can remember when Winter Jam used to be $10. Now they're $15.
Yeah, exactly. So it's awesome to be able to come to an event, and that is, it's two days, amazing artists, just great worship, and that's just huge. It costs $10 to go almost to get a coffee and a muffin at Starbucks.
Well, I was going to say your coffee right
yeah,
there is probably you probably got $20 sitting all right there.
Well, and the atmosphere, it's an outdoor concert, but the atmosphere is electric.
Yeah.
These are top drawer people that are not just coming to entertain.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
John, and there are. There's the opportunity if someone does come to a saving knowledge of Christ through there's the opportunity right there where they can be baptized.
Right.
Wow.
Right there
Right.
on site. And we are relying on the local churches to do that follow-up, to do the discipleship.
Right,
Light
right.
the Way Ministries
Right.
ministry does not claim to be a discipling process.
Right.
That is the purview of the local church.
Well, the greatest thing about our festival, it's never been, and this is my heart as well as our board, it's never been about the music, it's never been about the artists or even the speakers or even about us. It's about introducing people to Christ. Mm-hmm. And by that and with that, we were able to record actual on paper 1,358 decisions made for Christ just out of the Rogersville Festival.
Yeah, and that was just last year.
And that was just last
Wow,
year. And
that's
we send that
amazing.
stuff out to our partnering churches and let them call and bring them in, disciple them and stuff. So we don't just leave them in the field.
Right.
Yeah. So, John, just a quick question. If I come, can I man a baptismal dunk tank?
That would be, are you just wanting to do it because it's going to be so hot and you're wanting to cool off, or you need to check your priorities, I think, right?
Yeah, there we go.
Make sure it's the proper kettle.
Now, you've got some sponsorships are available.
Well, one big announcement that I want to make, and I know we're kind of getting crunched for time, is this year we're super excited because on the Saturday night of our festival, we partnered with Nextel Media, which owns Color 10 and about 4 other news media outlets here in Springfield and in Joplin. And with that, we are airing the festival live for a 1-hour special on every single local channel in Springfield and in Joplin. So what we're doing is what they call roadblocking the local network. So we're either going to make people really mad or a lot of people are going to get changed. We're hoping they get changed. But with that brings amazing sponsorship opportunities, more than just on the festival side. We still have all those opportunities there too as well. But when we say we bought up the airtime, that means we own it. And with the partnership with Nextower, they're offering us, if you sell any commercials, you can keep 100% of those proceeds to go into your ministry. So we have commercials that we can offer through that segment as well to partners, as well as in content advertisement. And myself and Jason Crabb will be co-hosting it together.
Oh, that's
my word! So he's coming back.
awesome.
Oh yeah, he's a festival favorite.
Oh man, we
That's awesome.
love that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, quick, where can we find out more about Light the Way? A quick plug for...
Yeah, lightthewayministry.com. That's with the Y, not ministries, so it's singular. Lightthewayministry.com. Go to our social media, our Instagram, our Twitter page, our Facebook. We're all on there. Follow us. We do bigger discounts and bigger surprises on our Instagram and our Twitter page. So if you haven't followed us on there, do so. We will do stuff on those pages more than we will on our Facebook page because we want to build those audiences and things like that. So follow us on those. Reach out to us. All of our contacts on our website, lightthewayministry.com.
Chad, do you have anything to add to what John's been doing here?
I would just say I went to the first year as just an attendee.
Hey,
and
speaking about, tell us, before you wrap up, tell us about how the event has grown. We haven't talked about what has happened from year to year to year.
I can't remember the exact numbers, but the first year it was just in Stockton Park, and I just happened to find it on social media, went to it as an attendee, and I mean, it captured my heart. It was different than I'd been to a few festivals before, and it was just different.
A few thousand.
There was 9,000 our first year, one day.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. And kind of connected with John and became a volunteer and then became a board member, and it was just different than any festival I'd went to. So
now, Chad, what he's being humble right now, but what he's not telling you, what he's not telling you is this young man, he got a vision and a dream, if I'm not mistaken, of what his role was for last year's festival. Our theme was worship. He lives in Joplin, Missouri. And the Lord told him that he has been working out and just like he's getting ready to run a marathon, but didn't know what he was doing. He just knew he was supposed to be working out a lot.
Wow.
And then the Lord showed him what he was going to be doing. And the Lord said that he is to carry a cross all the way from his home church in Joplin, Missouri, all the way to Rogersville. And it took about a month, I think.
Yeah.
We did it in the weekend.
I think it was over 5 days.
And we just paid the path all the way from Joplin to Rogersville of him carrying the cross. And people come up to us through this path every day that we did it and was touched by something. And what's really cool, I'm just now kind of getting this download. Now you did that, which now we're airing the festival, which will be in Springfield and Joplin on that same path.
That's awesome. That is so cool. That is just, I'm excited. I have I have a person that needs to come to Light the Way Festival right here.
And this past year, I think that each Friday and Saturday each had about 20,000 in attendance. Was that the estimate, the crowd estimate?
Yeah, about 41 throughout the whole weekend.
41,000 people, folks. It's coming right to our backyard.
Yep.
Well, it's so great to have you guys in the studio today. I think this guy needs to be on Light the Way tour, don't you think? Mr. Jim Wellborn?
The Robert Goulet of gospel music.
Well, thank you guys for joining us today. Until next time, this is Amber.
And this is Tom. And that's a mess.
There goes
Matt
the
will
tea.
clean it up. Until next time, step into the sunshine and find something to celebrate today. Take care.